Hi, my name is Lisa. I am a speech-language pathologist, adventurer, aspiring writer, avid goal setter, and goal king. And I'm here to help you learn how to set and accomplish your goals. This channel is all about learning how to set and accomplish your goals, as well as following me as I accomplish my own goals. So if you'd like to be successful and accomplish your goals, or you'd simply like to see as I go about accomplishing my own goals, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and comment down below. Public service announcement. We are still in the cringe phase of content creation, but I will embrace the cringe, and I encourage you to embrace it with me. I've met a lot of people who have struggled with their weight over the years, and it's all over the spectrum. I've met some people who want to be a bit bigger, but mostly I've met a lot of people who want to be a lot smaller. I myself have had a lifelong struggle with weight loss, and I have lost a lot of weight. I lost 85 pounds. But it is difficult to keep off. So why is weight loss such a massive bitch? If you do a quick Google search, you will see a host of different types of diets and supposedly healthy lifestyles. Some of the big ones are keto, paleo, high fat, low fat, high protein, intermittent fasting, macros, and good old calorie restriction. Oh, and also vegan. Let me tell you, I've pretty much tried all of these. I mean, like not vegan because I could never live without cheese. And so far, none of these have worked long term. Now, as someone who is typically successful and has accomplished a lot in her life, you can only imagine how frustrating it is to try and lose weight and fail at it year after year. Maybe you don't have to imagine. Stats say you've probably been there yourself. And beyond the psychosis that is diet culture, we also have to deal with the psychological fuckery that is anti-diet culture. Do you know how many times I've been told that I could be healthy at any size? I'm pretty sure I'm not healthy. I'm in a crap ton of pain. Yeah, that has a lot to do with my own personal health problems, but being overweight certainly doesn't help. And if I'm in this much pain, then I don't think the size that I'm at is at all healthy. Now, this isn't to discount the experience of people who have eating disorders. I cannot speak to those experiences because I've never had an eating disorder. This rant is not about you. I can only speak from my own experiences and use the general information we do know about how being overweight and obesity affects your overall physical health. And on the other side of that, we have fat shamers, the people who will take pictures of you in the gym and post it on the internet and be like, ew, why is this fat person here? Ew, get out of my sight. Stop blinding me with your fugliness. Well, F you, at least they're trying. Fat shaming is actually a thing. And I'm not talking about being honest about someone's health. I'm talking about treating overweight and obese people like crap for the simple fact that they're overweight and obese, and then trying to justify it by saying you're trying to help them. It doesn't help. Once again, fat shaming is not health honesty. It's just mean and unhelpful. I think the worst example of fat shaming I ever experienced was when I lost 85 pounds in 1 year. Yes, 85 pounds. And the doctor I was seeing at the time had the goal to tell me that it wasn't enough. That if I'd simply worked harder and, did things from his perspective, then I would have lost more. And then he actively refused to help me lose weight in the way that I was doing it, healthily I might add, because I wasn't doing it the way that he thought I should do it. I'm going to let the sheer absurdity of that sink in as we contemplate how medical professionals have really failed the obese population. Side note, I was doing a lot of weightlifting and strength training during this time of weight loss, and I probably lost more fat, but I just maintained so much muscle that it only appeared that I lost 85 pounds. And when you're losing weight, losing fat is far more important than whatever number shows up on the scale. I've really had to do a lot of thinking here to find a middle ground of weight loss psychology and what kind of weight loss diet I can do to help me get to my goal weight in a way that's sustainable. I definitely can't do vegan, as my doctor, a better doctor I might add, has already told me that my body's just not absorbing iron properly, so I really do need to eat red meat to get enough iron. Red meat is just a necessity for my continued existence. I can't do keto because I really do need carbs to live. Plus, I swear the average person I meet who does do keto is like in some kind of cult or something. And if you mess up just once, you're out of ketosis and you gotta start all over again from square one. Also, to be fair, I've never actually done keto, but I was coerced into doing Atkins when I was 13, which I've actually heard is worse than keto, and honestly, I felt like I was dying the whole time I was doing that diet. But people said I looked great, and I kept doing it for the time being. But health honesty would tell you that if you feel like crap while you're doing it, it's probably not good for you. Paleo is interesting, and I like the idea of eating things that we ate historically, things that we ate back when we were all like thin and fit and like chasing mammoths. But there are just too many leaves and seeds in that diet, and as my friend Alex pointed out, why in the world did we turn to leaves and seeds back then unless we had nothing else to eat? This would likely trigger a famine response in our bodies, and we would just end up gaining weight instead. I don't have the science on hand to talk about this, but I do know like seeds contain a lot of polyunsaturated fats, also known as PUFA, and that's just a whole other thing my friend Alex has taught me about, which we can talk about later in the future. But it is sad though, because man, I love you, kale, but you don't love me. So now I'm back on calorie restriction, and doctors have been saying for years, calories in, calories out. And sure, that makes sense if you have a functioning metabolism and functioning hormones. Having hypothyroidism and PCOS, two diseases that I have, has made calorie restriction really difficult in the past. And it really took years to find the right combination of medicine and lifestyle choices to really help get those hormones to a place where I could actually lose weight with calorie restriction. I started my diet on June 4th, 2022, and I started this channel on June 6th, 2022. I am now filming this video on September 5th, 2022, so it's been about 3 months. And so far, I've lost about 30 pounds, which is a little over 13.5 kilograms. And at least the first 8 to 9 pounds of that was in the first week of weight loss. That seems incredible, right? Clearly it's working. But hold up, don't get too excited. Although I've lost 30 pounds, I've actually only lost about 22 pounds of fat. So where is all the rest of this weight coming from? When you first start a calorie restrictive diet, you're going to see amazing results on the scale in the first 4 to 6 weeks. The weight is just going to whoosh off you, and it's likely going to give you the false impression that this is going to be easy. But nothing in life is easy, and the same goes for weight loss. As it turns out, the other 8 pounds came from muscle mass and water weight. Yes, calorie restriction makes you lose muscle mass, and this is especially true in the first 4 to 6 weeks. If you do end up losing all that weight on calorie restriction alone, say you go from obese to a healthy BMI, you're likely going to end up as something called skinny fat. That's when people reach like their target weight, but they don't really look right. They're kind of like misshapen and lumpy, and it's because they lost muscle and not fat. This is why it's so important to do weightlifting and strength training throughout the entire calorie restrictive diet. You need to make sure that you're maintaining as much muscle mass as possible. But wait, you literally cannot restrict calories and maintain muscle at the same time, or for that matter, gain muscle. It's just not possible. You need to eat more to gain more. And definitely not eat less to maintain what you have. This is the big conundrum of weight loss. It's not weight you want to lose, it's fat. When it comes to fat loss, your body can actually only lose about 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week. You need to eat about 500 calories fewer per day to lose 1 pound per week, and 1,000 calories fewer per day to lose around 2 pounds per week. After that, your body turns to burning primarily muscle. And this is because the less weight you have on your body, the less muscle you need to carry your body around. The whole thing's a mess. So what's the solution? What can we do to make sure that we're burning fat, but also maintaining muscle? As stated, you need to work out, but ignore cardio. Just don't even try it until you're at a lower BMI. But you absolutely do need to lift weights and do strength training. And if you want to make sure you're maintaining that muscle without injury, we need to make sure we find the sweet spot of restricting calories, but also eating enough to rebuild the muscle after we work out. This means restricting 1,000 calories a day is just not doable, and restricting 500 calories a day is even pushing it. I'm fortunate enough to have a body fat scale so I can actually see how much fat I'm losing in proportion to muscle. So by using that scale, I've actually been trying a few different things, and it seems to be working. This is my weight loss plan. 4 days out of the week, I ate 500 fewer calories than my basal metabolic rate. Your basal metabolic rate is just basically the baseline of calories you need to exist. It doesn't count like the activity you do during the day or exercise. For me, it's pretty high in like the low 2000s. I originally made a goal saying I eat something around 1,800 calories a day and not the low 2000s, but I ended up being a lot more physically active at work than I thought I'd be, so I kind of need an extra couple hundred calories per day to really make up for that activity level. I'll talk more about this in future videos when I go over updating and adjusting my goals. Now, 3 to 4 days a week, I actually exercise for 30 to 60 minutes. This is with weightlifting and strength training as mentioned, and I do it at like a moderate intensity. I still keep myself at a 500 calorie deficit, but I eat back 50 to 75% of those calories in high protein foods. And this is usually like beef or shrimp. So say I burn about 400 calories weightlifting, I will eat about 200 to 300 calories back in just those high protein foods. To give you a better image of what that looks like, imagine eating like a 6 to 9 ounce like New York strip steak or 3/4 to a pound of shrimp. So what results have I seen with this experiment so far? Well, the drastic weight loss has stagnated. I'm not losing 8 pounds a week anymore, and that's a good thing. Because according to the body fat scale I'm using, my muscle is reducing at a much slower rate, but my fat is still reducing at the same rate it was prior to eating back those calories and protein. If you remember, I said you can only lose about 1 to 2 pounds of fat per week regardless of how much weight you're losing. And in 14 weeks, I've lost 22 pounds of fat, which is right in that target range of 1 to 2 pounds per week. But I'm also maintaining my muscle. Due to the success, I'm going to be updating my short-term weight loss goal. My original goal was to lose 30 pounds by December 2022, but I've already met this goal. So now I'm aiming to lose 50 pounds by December, doing many of the same things I'm doing right now. These results are honestly very encouraging, and I'm going to keep with this weight loss experiment and keep you updated about how things are going. I'll also be documenting my weight loss journey in weekly vlogs starting in October. That's all for right now. Please like, subscribe. I am out of quips about the notification bell, and please comment down below. Please let me know what you'd like to see on this channel, and let me know about some of the goals you're working on. How can I best help you accomplish your goals?